The British government is aiming to give every adult a COVID-19 vaccine shot by July 31st, at least a month earlier than its previous target, as it prepares to set out a cautious plan to ease the country's coronavirus lockdown. The previous aim was for all adults to get at least a first dose of a COVID-19 inoculation by September. The accelerated schedule now calls for everyone 50 and over and those with underlying health conditions to get the first of their 2 vaccine shots by April 15, rather than the previous target date of May 1, and all adults by the end of July. The makers of the 2 COVID-19 vaccines that Britain is using, Pfizer and AstraZeneca, have both experienced supply problems in Europe. But British Health Secretary Matt Hancock said Sunday that "We now think that we have the supplies to speed up the UK's vaccination campaign." The early success of Britain's vaccination effort is welcome news for a country that has had more than 120,000 coronavirus deaths, the highest toll in Europe. More than 17.5 million people, a third of EU adults, have had at least one vaccine shot since immunizations began December 8. Britain is delaying giving second vaccine doses until 12 weeks after the first, rather than 3 to 4 weeks, in order to give more people partial protection quickly. The approach has been criticized in some countries, and by Pfizer, which says it does not have any data to support the longer interval, but it is backed by the British government's scientific advisors. News of the new vaccine targets came as Prime Minister Boris Johnson met Sunday with senior ministers to finalize a roadmap out of the national lockdown. He is expected to announce the details in Parliament on Monday. Faced with a dominant virus strain that scientists say is both more transmissible and more lethal than the original coronavirus, Britain has spent much of the winter under tight public restrictions. Bars, restaurants, gyms, schools, hair salons and all non-essential shops have been closed. Grocery stores, pharmacies and takeout food venues are still open. The government has stressed that economic and social reopening will be slow and cautious, with non-essential shopping or outdoor socializing unlikely before April. Many children will go back to school beginning March 8. Nursing home residents will be able to have one visitor starting from that date as well. Johnson's Conservative government has been accused of reopening the country too quickly after the first lockdown in the spring. The number of new confirmed cases, hospitalizations and deaths are all declining in February but remain high, and Johnson says his reopening roadmap will follow data, not dates. But he is under pressure from some conservative lawmakers, who argue that restrictions should be lifted quickly to revive an economy that has been hammered by 3 lockdowns in the last year.